Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on Forgotten Weapons. I'm Ian McCollum, and today is not so much about a cool firearm, it is about where you can see cool firearms online, because I'd like to take a few minutes and remind you guys that there is a really cool site out there called Utreon that I think has a lot of promise for both video viewers and also video content creators. And so I'd like to speak to both groups of you guys today. I know hopefully there are a bunch of content creators who are watching this. Some of you have large channels, some of you have little tiny channels, some of you may not have started creating video yet, but you think maybe you'd like to. Well, Utreon, I think, is an excellent option for both, for creators and for viewers. So why is this? First off, Utreon is a site that is independent from the big tech companies. They are not owned by Google, they're not owned by Facebook, they are completely independent. And they do actually have financial investment, which I think is a really important point. There have been a lot of alternative video channel platform systems that have come up trying to bootstrap themselves into existence and into success with no actual investment capital, and that has never worked. Generally, those sites rely on doing things like just playing video directly off of YouTube servers. It's a disaster. It never goes anywhere. Utreon has actual significant financial investors who recognize that the site will take several years, many years perhaps, to grow to the point of being completely independently viable and perhaps a legitimate alternative or a legitimate competitor to YouTube. But not just a competitor to YouTube. In fact, they try not to promote themselves as a competitor to YouTube. Utreon is a site that combines the functionalities of both YouTube and Patreon. So it is a site that does its own independent video hosting, and it also runs a subscription service just like Patreon, where if your favorite content creators are on Utreon, you can subscribe there for the same sort of perks and extra benefits that you can get on Patreon, or just to support your favorite creators to make sure that they can continue to create the content that you like to watch. Being able to combine both the support subscription service and the video hosting on a single platform has a lot of really cool advantages. It's a much more efficient system, and it allows some perks that are really kind of kludgy to try and do with either YouTube or Patreon. And for content creators out there, they also offer the best financial terms of any of these sites. We'll get into that in a moment. The other thing that is really important to me about Utreon is that it is a site that is focused on independent content creators. They're not out there trying to get the big celebrities and the big news channels to put content on Utreon. They're out there to do what YouTube originally did, which was promote amateur, independent video creation, because that's the cool stuff. There will always be lots of outlets where you can watch whatever Disney's last thing is. You don't need to use it. You don't need to do that on YouTube and then use that to essentially crush all the independent creators that you don't want to deal with as a tech behemoth anymore. Anyway, in following that goal, Utreon is based on a set of pretty darn simple and very transparent rules. They don't have like the mystery subjective rules of YouTube. You can actually talk to people at Utreon. And essentially, the rule comes down to, when it comes to firearm content, you can't post something that's illegal to do. If it's legal, you're fine. Brandon Herrera, you made a mistake building what was essentially a pipe bomb gun, got you a strike on YouTube, got the video kicked off of YouTube. Wouldn't have happened on Utreon, just saying. All right, so from a viewer perspective, what makes Utreon good? Well, first off, you can either follow or subscribe to channels. Following is the equivalent of a YouTube subscription. You'll get notification when that channel posts new videos. And unlike YouTube, they'll actually send you notification when that channel posts new videos, and they won't randomly unfollow you from channels. You can also subscribe, which is the equivalent of a Patreon-like subscription. There are several different pledged levels, monthly dollar amounts if you want to subscribe to a channel. But you don't have to subscribe to see videos on that channel, unless those videos have been specifically set to subscriber-only status as special content for subscribers. Utreon is working on also incorporating advertising, like pre-roll video advertising on the site. They're working on that system at the moment. It's not fully functional yet. Now, there are some cool features for viewers that you can't get on YouTube. For example, you're able to direct message other viewers. If you want to start a side conversation with someone, instead of having this long thread in the public comments, you can do that. You can DM other users through Utreon's interface. That's kind of cool. You can also set up videos or playlists of videos to play essentially like audio podcasts. So if you want to take a lot of content that is suitable for podcast, or if you're a creator, favorite creators have podcast-like content that they upload onto a video platform, which a lot of people are doing on YouTube, you can take that and essentially prepackage it to listen to in a podcast form. You can sort of do that on YouTube, but not really. Utreon's system is much more elegant for doing that. So beyond that, what you get on Utreon is very much like what you get on YouTube. Search for videos, get videos, watch videos, like that's the whole point. A lot of the other cool features are things that apply to content creators, and so that's who I want to speak to next. Of course, a system like Utreon is fundamentally only going to succeed if it has content creators on it. It's the viewers will come if we put the content on there. So why should you bother to put content on Utreon? Well, first off, it is a completely independent alternative backup to YouTube. YouTube can be pretty random about how it imposes various rules on people. It can kick people off without any notice whatsoever, and we never know when any of its rules, monetization or otherwise, are going to change. And so I think it's a really good idea to have a backup somewhere. There are lots of simple backups. There are lots of totally free backups. Utreon is a place where you can back up your content and also actually build a paying subscriber base and build advertising revenue, which, as I said, is a system that's not fully implemented yet, but it is coming. So a couple things. Financially speaking, Utreon offers the best rates of any of the major platforms. Utreon takes a 5% cut of subscriber payments plus payment processing, which is 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. That's the sort of the standard payment processor fee. The standard setup on Patreon right now is 8%. YouTube takes 30%. So this also is relevant if you're a viewer and you want to subscribe to a channel and you want that channel to actually get the most of your money. Utreon is the best place to subscribe. There are also a bunch of other cool perks that you can't really do on YouTube or that YouTube makes really difficult. So merchandise, there is a merchandise page associated with your channel and your videos that is super easy to populate. It's not like YouTube merch shelf where it's limited to specific companies and a huge pain to actually set up and use. And it's something that's available even to very small channels. You can do live streams. If you're a gun channel, you can actually do a live stream with a firearm, which is kind of cool. If you want to do a collaboration with another channel on a live stream, this is kind of cool. They can set it up to actually split the revenue from that live stream in whatever ratio you like between the two collaborating channels. So you don't have to make this decision of, well, okay, we're going to do a collaborative video, but who gets to post it and how do we make this valuable for both partners? Utreon makes that super easy. One of the features I make a lot of use of myself is pre-release to subscribers. So one of my subscriber tiers is early access to videos. It's a $20 tier on Patreon. I made it actually the $10 tier on Utreon because I'd like to promote more people moving over to Utreon. I'd like to get a nice balance between the two platforms in case anything happens to either one. But what Utreon allows me to do is when I upload a video, I can set it for pre-release to a specific subscriber tier and then also set the public release date. So on YouTube, you have to do funky things with keeping a video unlisted so you can give the link to subscribers. And then when it publishes, you have to manually publish it at the exact moment you want it to publish. If you preset it to a scheduled release on YouTube, you lose the ability for people to preview it, which is really annoying. I don't know why they do that, but Utreon makes it way simpler. You can just set both of those conditions when you upload the video. And the whole upload process is frankly quicker, simpler, and easier than on YouTube. You can start the video uploading, and then all of the information you need to put into the video is on one page. And it does not include a whole pile of random algorithmic checks to determine if your video is actually kosher to upload or to monetize. It's just really nice and simple to use. So overall, if there's at least 5 or 6 of you guys still watching at this point, obviously Utreon is a system that I really like. There are a lot of gun content creators over there already. Of course, Othais and May on CN Arsenal have been big proponents of Utreon for several years now, and they're not wrong. They've been a big help, I know, to Utreon in figuring out some of its early, fixing early bugs, coming up with early features. And following their lead, a lot of other channels are over there. So I'm not going to name names, but some big, some small. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, and I think it's well worth checking out. Not everyone is going to want to make a change. I'm not asking everyone. Obviously, everyone's not going to move from YouTube tomorrow over to Utreon. But as Utreon continues to grow, it will continue. It will be in a better and better position to improve its features, to improve its user base, and to make itself the best video viewing platform and video hosting platform out there for independent content creators. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to me ramble on about this. Hopefully you'll check it out. I have, of course, the link to Utreon and to the Forgotten Weapons channel on Utreon in the description text below. Thanks for watching.